Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El. Got some news for you guys, but first I'm going to start off by saying, let me go into this. If you guys have not seen the miniseries yet, I just finished the miniseries that you guys requested every Sunday. So it's finished. Look back at it as how to build on my channel, how to build a gaming computer / post-production / productivity computer on the cheap, which is retailed anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000, and you could build it on the cheap. And then stay tuned for next month, in which I'm going to be working on, releasing every Sunday, the other mini-series you guys requested, how to build a Star Killer or Iron Man helmet from beginning to end on a 3D printer. And by end, I mean, polished with paints and all of that. And then shortly after that, it'll be the other mini-series on how to build a post-production / gaming / productivity desk from beginning to end, from scratch. Has I would say a retail value of about $900 to $1,500, and you'll be able to build it for a little bit over $300 to a little bit over $400, depends on what you guys want. So be sure to tune in on that. And as always, if you guys like what you see, as always, subscribe, hit that bell button, and definitely like the video and share it. That's the only way you guys can help me out. I don't do Patreon services or any of that. That's the only way you guys can show love. But most importantly, I also want to hear your comments below. Now, I got to tell you, so like I said, I always do my investigating and all of that stuff for you guys. And I look and I check out stories and stuff like that, so I can come and present it to you guys on what's going on in the scenes. Aside from doing all the, post-production work or unboxings and technology reviews or gaming reviews. So I do this as well, and I give you guys the most all the time the most accurate truth. If it's not truth, I tell you it's rumors and all of that stuff. So the number one thing right now that is being pushed down everybody's throat, and I'm looking at the forums, everybody's ticked off about this, is Nintendo Switch's revision, and they believe is an announcement. And I'm gonna get to that, okay? So basically, I went on several forum sites, and I'm looking at everybody trashing Nintendo, saying, I can't believe they're doing this, and I can't believe this is happening, and oh, this guy said that, and oh, that guy did this. And the Twitter, the Twitter account is by this guy named Marcus Sellers, as you guys all know, and he said Nintendo will be releasing an improved version of the Nintendo Switch early 2019. This console will have 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of internal storage, and dynamic scaling up to 4K. Some third-party games will only release on this version. All Nintendo-produced games will release on both. Everybody started going nuts about this, and I know why, because obviously Nintendo has screwed everybody by releasing their early versions, the versions that which I proved to you guys was the only ones that was given problems were the ones that were in launch state and close to launch date. And basically they gave us a big FU by saying, well, that's what it appears to be, based on what this guy is saying, and what this gentleman is saying. And basically it's like saying, screw you to all you fans who came, who believed in us, and now we're going to come out with a different revision. Now, first, let me get this out of the way before I tell you what is truth and what is not. So first off, let's get this out of the way. Nintendo is looking at this console, even though they said in the beginning, which we all know they make promises they can't keep, and they say things that obviously have no valid anything to it, as they lied before about the USB, and no, they didn't tell anybody about that, because Nintendo World and every Nintendo rep said you could use even your Samsung charger cable, and of course the early versions all bricked and turned into crap. So with that out of the way, supposedly, if something like this were to happen, first off, there's something that you guys should know. People would lose faith in Nintendo completely. But Nintendo is, they're looking at this as a portable system, even though in the beginning they said, no, there will be the portable side of the 3DS. We're not competing with the 3DS, and you guys could remember that. I don't care if you're fanboys or not. It doesn't make a difference. Like I said, fanboys like me and everybody else, I don't consider myself a fanboy. I'm a fan of the system, but because of that, I also call them out on their shortcomings so they can improve and evolve into a better company, a better system, a better, product, design, product releases, and so on and so forth, where fanboys usually forgive all their shortcomings, as they did with the Apple, with the iPhone and all that in the beginning, when they were stagnant pretty much the whole time till they started to come out with bigger screens and all of that stuff. The thing is, if there's no demand, guys, if there's no people calling them out on their shortcomings, things like this will happen. Now, they lied, because they are phasing out the 3DS. Yes, in Japan, like I said, they said it, they don't want a Nintendo Switch in every household, they want it in everybody's hands. That being said, if they're looking at it as a 3DS replacement, then we got a problem, because they are going to be releasing revisions, as 3DS released all kinds of revisions. But if you guys look at the actual thing, what's going on, and I can tell you, I'm going to give you guys a little fear here, but but don't take this seriously, because I'm going to get into that, whether this statement is true or not. Basically, what's going to happen is they're going to want to come out with these different revisions, but remember, with Nintendo right now, they're trying, because the people that, let's say like me, who bought it during the Mario Odyssey time, it's not close to launch date or launch date, so basically there's no issues whatsoever with it, but it's hackable. And they want to stomp out the hacking. Now, they know if they just released another version, people would go and pay a little extra to get the old version, like they did with the PSP, and I believe it was the PlayStation 3 in the beginning. And, sorry, PSP. Yeah, PSP. And then PS Vita, of course, they did the same thing. People were going to get, they're paying a little bit more to get the older versions of it. So they need to come out with something. Now, this is realistically, they need to come out with something that'll entice someone to getting that. So if you say certain games will just be released on that one, but don't worry, other Nintendo games, let's not forget why the Wii U suffered. The Wii U suffered because third-party developers abandoned it. And everybody wanted to play third-party games. So this is Nintendo's way of saying, screw you, if they did do this. Because they're basically saying, get the new system, or you're not going to play third-party games, but you'll play Nintendo, games. That'll be fine. That'll work on it. But you need this. Now, on the 3DS, only I think 4 games were like that, where they only worked on the brand new 3DSs. And, a lot of people try to do, if you look at the sales between the Xbox One S and the Xbox One, it didn't do them any justice when they did stupid things like that. But again, Nintendo is very stupid in their marketing department, and something stupid like this could actually come to fruition. There's no doubt about that. The thing is, if I wanted people to jump over to a non-hackable Switch, what would I do? Putting 128 gigabytes of internal storage would be one of them. Now I'm gonna explain to you why all of this is most likely fake. 8 gigabytes of RAM, put it in so it'll load games faster, and then scaling up to 4K. So wow, we could get increased resolution, even though it's just scaled up, which doesn't mean increased, but you'll be able to play a little bit, higher looking. If you guys remember, those of us that had the HVX camcorders, we were getting, and we were jumping over from the DVX 100B. In the beginning, before I got the HVX, they actually had these programs that upscaled things to HD, and if lit well, if you filmed well with lighting and everything, you sort of can't tell the difference, especially on a small screen. But even though the 4K, if somebody markets a 4K Nintendo Switch for the portable, if you're playing it on the portable and they say it's 4K, you could laugh at them. If they're preaching 4K, especially up-res, because you will not notice the difference on a tiny screen like that. Like even my 4K monitor right here at 43 inches, I can tell from a different distance, I can tell what's 4K between 4K and let's say 2K or HD or whatever, uncompressed HD of course. So you can't really tell the difference unless you're going into projection, projector mode and stuff like that. That's why until now some cell phones, like let's say the Note, has UHD and don't go to the full that, but they also don't have a display that's 4K because it would waste battery. So you could imagine what the hell would happen to a Nintendo Switch. It'd be drained like this instantly. Now they can market also a better battery system and stuff like that. Now guys, most likely, and this is going to be a big screw you to all the fans, and all the fans have a right to be a little bit paranoid because Nintendo has been doing a lot of stupid moves. And what happens is, a lot of these fans are going to say, you know what, we gave Nintendo a chance, and look at them screwing the pooch right here. They're screwing us right away. They're stomping out on us. They gave us a crappy system that crashes and breaks and all this horrible things that we had to send to get a new one. Now all of a sudden they're coming out with a new Switch? What the hell's going on? And believe it or not, these kind of rumors are what make stocks go up and down. Believe it or not. And already Nintendo had a huge blow with that 16-point that other time dip in their stocks. Of course, because of not rumors, but actually things that happen where they're not releasing system sellers at all. They're releasing ports. Already show, that's a bad thing. Showing, walking on eggshells with third-party developers and stockholders, yet releasing ports of games instead of brand new ones would show all of us, like, pretty much we want to play it safe too, so that we're not putting all our eggs in one basket or all our money, that we're not confident enough to produce a brand new game that we're porting crap. Whether the ports were good or not is irrelevant. I'm saying how stockholders would probably look at it, or third-party developers would look at it. And you had a lot of rumors also that plagued Nintendo, and all of this together kind of caused the dips in their stocks. And right now, this guy's coming out with that, thing. And of course, he took down this tweet right after that. And a lot of people, were outraged by it. And everybody, the whole forum sites and forum communities were all exploding, telling everybody how this thing is going to be the end. I don't want to deal with Nintendo anymore. People are already saying I'm selling it on eBay. So, I mean, you can imagine how many people already are selling on eBay, which is higher than it's ever been. And it's only getting worse because it's getting higher and higher when it should not do that. Okay, and a lot of people that are on the Wii U are laughing their butts off. I know a lot of my family that will not jump over to the Switch because there's no system sellers, but now they're laughing their butts off saying the same thing like all my friends are. Thank God we didn't buy it now. We'll buy it when it's more developed. Like I always say in Windows, don't upgrade to Windows 10, as I told you guys. Or even back in the day to Windows 98 or 2000 or XP. I said, wait till it is released for a year. Wait till it's released for some time till they work out all the kinks and then buy into it. So all of us pretty much that bought it early or even near early or whatever are the ones that are getting screwed apparently. But now I'm going to start to debunk everything right here. Can Nintendo do this? Absolutely. If Nintendo looks at it as a portable system, sure, they can pull that off. I don't believe it's going to happen in 2019. I think it's going to happen in more like 2020. And you can mark my words, I've been accurate on a lot of my things so far, and I'm putting my name behind this too and my accuracy on this as well. I think it's going to come out in 2020. I don't think it's going to come out early 2019, and I'll explain to you why. First off, 8 gigabytes of storage. Now, you have to understand that how Nintendo is working right now. They're snipping off all corners to try to make it affordable. And at $300, it's not even affordable enough for people to get it, that in Japan, they're trying without the dock for about $250. Okay, so they're looking for new ways to decrease the cost. Putting in 128 gigabytes, okay, of internal storage. I mean, do you have any idea how much money that's going to hike up? I don't see it going anywhere under the $400 mark. And if they buy, do it in bulk or whatever to make it anywhere profitable, they would have to play like Microsoft, where they're prepared to take huge losses for their system in hopes that their games would be a sell, like with the original Xbox. Would Nintendo do that with a failing market that they had, or the failing system of last time with the Nintendo Wii U? Would they be able to do something this stupid? I don't think so. But then again, Nintendo is extremely dumb in their marketing department and in their marketing research. So anything is possible. I just don't think that is really... I don't think it's feasible at all, because 128 gigabytes of RAM would shoot it up to about $400. Is Nintendo willing to lose $100, $50, let's say even $50 to $100? Let's say it'll cost $350, so $50 to $100 to market this, and then of course release say games will only be released. Now, if you remember, 3DS only had 4 games, but would they want to do that to try to entice people by coming out with all these brand new games and saying, well, screw you, Nintendo fans, all you guys that believed in us, we're going to come out with a new system right now, and we're going to do that? No, I don't think that's possible at all. I do think they're going to come out with a revision 3. As I explained to you, it was really supposed to be called the revision, even though they're calling it a revision 2. And by that I mean a different version of it, like a smaller version, or even one that's unhackable, like they did with the PSP or the PS Vita in the beginning before that was even hacked, but or the PlayStation 3. So will they come out with a different look, a different system? I don't think they will have 128. I don't think they're going to have exclusive games made only for that and say screw you to all the early developers. I think what they're going to do is they're going to release it at 2020. If they have any prayers on that. Why? Because the 128 gigabyte cards are already coming down in price once the 256 was released. But of course, we're still on the 256. The 512, I mean, it's either non-existent, but very few do it. And it's extremely expensive. I think once the media starts going down in prices, then they'll start to to start shooting these things out, which is most likely going to be the 2020. Now, if you remember, I did a whole video for you guys about the Tegra 2 chip and how the Tegra chip itself, how it already had backdoors to it, and how Nintendo wanted to come out with their own one that closes these backdoors. That's why they got hacked so easily. But why not go up with the new Tegra chip that could be less battery consumption, higher resolution, and stuff like that? So they could possibly push that 4K envelope, even though I think it would be extremely stupid to do so. But they would be able to even, maybe not, but increase the battery lower the battery consumption, increase the battery power and the time you're being able to play on the Switch, where possibly you don't even need an extended battery. If they could come out with a slightly bigger battery and have that battery saving feature of the new Tegra chips, that's coming out, that would be better. But again, the new Tegra chips are not coming out till late 2019. Do they really want to be stupid and release like something that feels like last generation when they could wait for it to be not just released, but to see if there's backdoors, to see if they can make the new Tegra chip to be a proprietary thing to just them, let's say, or all of these things. We need, they need to give it time to do tests and stuff and all of these things. And that's exactly what's happening right here. I don't think they're going to be stupid enough to say, well, we're coming out with a $400 package, and we're going to be releasing it and prepared to lose $100 per console because we feel so confident that our games are going to be the ones that sell. They're not confident. That's why they're releasing ports. I mean, I don't care what kind of fanboy you are, but the truth of the matter is that is the reality. A system does not release ports at the level that they're releasing if they are comfortable with their system, that it could produce games that are going to be that are able to run in the new gen lineup. Okay, so they're not at that level yet. They're still being very gun shy, and because of that, they're releasing ports by the tons. Also, the other reason is they gave an excuse where, well, not everybody had the Wii U, which is okay, that's true. Not many people tried to play it, but again, releasing ports cost them the least amount of money. And the reason they did that was because they want to play it safe. They're losing money in their stock markets because of a number of things. They were losing and they were dipping. But the thing is, and then they go up a little bit. The stock market goes up and down, but not at a 16-point rate like they did last time, at that kind of level within that short amount of time. It's because of rumors like this and because of things that they're doing that is wrong. Okay, so will they be releasing something like this? I think in 2020, we're going to see probably the newest Tegra chip being released. It's going to be a little bit faster. They're going to need to entice. What are they going to do if the media is actually going down a little bit in price? They're going to put a 128 gig and probably release it for $350 or $300 with a free game probably or something like that. But this is not going to happen until 2020 unless they're extremely stupid, in which they're going to release one in early 2019 like this guy says here. And then what they're going to do is in another year's time or whatever, they're going to release another one. It's just a very stupid thing to do, and I'm sure Nintendo is that dumb in their marketing department that it's not out of their realms of possibility. But I think cost-effective wise, they would be making the most dumbest mistakes ever, and already people, because of this rumor, are already selling their freaking their Switches on in eBay, and are saying they never want to have anything to do with Nintendo anymore. And I was telling them, I'm writing to them, guys, this is only rumors. This is just a guy with a rumor. Don't take anything he says seriously. And I was explaining the same thing. I said, I'm going to do a video for you guys because you guys got to know also that this is bull. This is bull crap. So anybody that fell for this and are ticked off from this, just know one thing, guys. It's not possible. It's not. It's especially when they want to hit fiscal goals. Like right now, they're kind of hovering around. They're very confident they're going to slide by the 25 million mark. They're trying to aim to actually make more money on their systems and games, they're going to have to look for ways to cut more corners to lower the price. Maybe come out with a cheaper screen like the PS Vita did or something like that. But they're going to try to come out with something, or like without the docking station, which they're doing in Japan for $250, to try to push this to sell more units. And they're going to come out, hopefully, if Nintendo has a brain, which they're not showing that they do, exclusive games that are going to be system sellers, okay? Once they start releasing these things, they're probably, you know, people are going to invest in them a lot. But doing, you know, stunts like this, especially when you're extremely weak right now, let's face it, Nintendo is weak. Especially in the stock market department, third-party developers are still very gun-shy with them, and people are making jokes of them, like Blind Squirrel, what they did with the WWE 2K18 release, and Nintendo gave it the green light. I don't care whose fault it was Nintendo's for giving it a green light, and everybody got tricked and got one of the worst games that ever came out for the Nintendo Switch, while other, you know, Panic Button and, you know, all their ports are freaking awesome. So they're making literally fools out of Nintendo because the third-party developers know that Nintendo is gun-shy. They're not the same Nintendo in the 80s where the Nintendo seal, everybody was killing each other to get that Nintendo seal of approval on their thing. So there's no more that much respect. So Nintendo's still walking on eggshells to do something this stupid. Is to destroy every business connection you have. This will be the next Wii U if something stupid like this happens. Now, if it releases in 2020, it makes more sense. 2020, because the new Tegra chips will be out. The new thing, Nintendo will be around for about 4 years. Let's say the Switch, 4 years. It would be a good time to come out with a new system that's, you know, with 128, I'm saying, and stuff. Now, the revision itself, they might come out in early 2019 with that unhackable version, or try to cut some corners and make it a cheaper version of it. Maybe, who knows what they're going to do, and they're going to need to push it. Maybe they'll increase battery power by a little bit, you know, here and there. But it's not going to be this much of a push. They might have a little bit, you know, gigabytes of RAM. They might have 8 gigabytes of RAM. It might happen. You never know. They might go to that. But the thing is, I don't see where they're going to hit it up with a 128 gigabytes. I don't see where these games, certain games, are going to be released only for that. Now, unless they wanted to push, you know, the unhackable systems or something. So it's not, like I said, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. But it would be game over for Nintendo. If this happened, most likely it would be game over for Nintendo. Already the rumors are literally one of the factors that are destroying the market in the stock market. Even though you think, wow, they're hitting the 25 million. Yeah, but worldwide market, not everybody is buying from that. I mean, America, Japan, certain places, not everybody, as you saw in the stock releases that I was showing you guys, knocking it over. They still have huge chunks of people that are buying Nintendo Wii U's right now, that they could take that and put that money into their quarterlies. But they're not system sellers, so nobody's doing that. There's tons of 3DS game sales that they're doing way better also than the Switch. They could take that and put that in there. But again, nobody's going to make that jump. Because when they play games like, if they do stunts like this, nobody's going to want to take any, you know, no one's going to have faith in Nintendo. Because basically you're saying, you guys just released a system not so long ago, and finally now that you got it running normally, and it's not breaking and I got my new one, now you're going to be releasing another one. Of course people are going to be pissed. But to all you guys, this is not, there's no way this is real. 128 gigabytes would be a $400 system. And even if they had some kind of deal, let's say $350, and they will not sell it for $350 when they're already having extreme hard time selling it at $300. They're trying ways to cut, and they can't even cut corners at this point, that the only way they can do it is to make it at a $250 mark by taking the dock away. Okay, so they're not going to add to it and say, well, now we're confident, let's, you know, do that. And if they have exclusive games released just for that, that means that's what they're doing. They believe that they could sell it for $350 or $400, which would be the dumbest thing they could ever do. I don't even think that special kind of stupid can't be fixed. So there's no way they would do something like that. Okay? They're the kind of stupid that you sort of could fix. Not that kind of stupid that you can't fix, if that makes any sense. So I wouldn't panic about that. I wouldn't panic at all. I would just let it go. That's why he took out his Twitter comment right there. And a lot of people did call him out on it. It doesn't make sense. So anyways, let me know in the comments down below. I want to know what you guys have to think about that. I want to know what you guys think about that. I want to know what you guys, if you feel what I'm saying right here, because it doesn't make sense on paper. It just doesn't make sense. It wouldn't be anyway profitable for them. They would lose a ton of money. They have to, and they're already having a hard time selling it at 300, even though they reached the 25. You know, they're gonna most likely reach the 25 goal. But the thing is, they're trying to push it to even go to, remember, they added 20 million on top of that and said, oh, we're very confident we could do it. The thing is, in the worldwide market, they're still suffering. And the stock market, they were suffering big time. So it's not doing good in the worldwide market. They're trying to get it worldwide. Would doing something like this get this worldwide? Hell no. Everyone would lose faith in Nintendo. And also, if they would come out with that, they would have to release it at either the same price of a $300 price point, or make it at $250. Now, they could have said, oh, it's a little bit faster, it's a little bit this, but if they're saying certain games are going to come out only for that, basically pushing you to do it, no one is going to spend over $300. In fact, $300 is too much. I think not a lot of people want to invest, especially in certain areas that they're buying 3DSs. As you saw, the 3DS is doing better than Nintendo Switch. In the quarterly, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about worldwide, you know, I mean worldwide, from when it was released or whatever. I'm talking about from the quarterlies. They're doing way better. Nintendo Wii U is even doing better in terms of software sales. So that's the thing, guys. You know, there's no way this is going to happen because it won't be marketable. It won't be profitable either. So they're trying to cut corners that they're so backed up that they're just, you know, releasing the system without a dock at this point in Japan for a $250 price point. They're not going to go and say, well, we're willing to lose another $50 or $100, okay, off every system in hopes that people will buy, you know, jump over and then buy the software. They're not as confident as, let's say, Microsoft, who has more money than they know what to do with it. They had a failed system already, and then they're starting to dip with stocks. That's not something that you take a risk and go for a suicide dive. That would be one of the most dumbest moves they could ever pull off. I think 2020, they will actually, something like a 128 gigabyte internal storage would be very possible at a price point of, let's say, 300 or hell, even 250 or 300 with a game. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. As always, self-funded here. The only way you guys can show some love for the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, hitting that bell button. And of course, I want to hear what you guys think down below. I want you guys to tell me what you guys feel about that announcement. And I hope that this thing puts you guys at ease. If it doesn't, then I mean, just think about it. You know, it's just not possible. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.